I just got back from Los Angeles, home of Henry Rollins, NWA, movie stars, Hollywood. And I went out there looking for some kind of a permanent vacation. It only lasted about 7 days. Well, while I was out there, like the same thing I do when I come to any town, this town included, I go out there with one reason in mind, and that's to try to suck up on the natural resources. You know, I'm kind of a talent coordinator. So being in Hollywood and all, I thought I would do like the decadent Hollywood trip that I heard so much about. You know, everyone acts like they're a movie star or a rock star, and everyone drives limousines, so I got into a limousine, and I did the Hollywood trip. That's like the champagne enemas and the Coke, and I had my own video cam scam artist in the back of the limousine because, you know, everyone in Hollywood's making their own movies, and, you know, I kind of make movies too. As a matter of fact, I think the last time my film was here, a bunch of male and female so-called feminists tried to destroy my film Fingered, but they got the wrong film, haha. I've also been bottled in the head here. It didn't work. Next time, try a 6-pack. So I'm in the limousine with the champagne enemas and the cocaine and the video scam cam artist documenting my every movement. And, you know, I like to pose. I'm trying to adopt always the right pose. And we're driving up to Sunset Boulevard, up to the Hollywood Hills, because if you're in Hollywood, well, you've got to stay in a condominium. And if you stay in a condominium, of course, it's got to have the jacuzzi and the sauna and the hot tub and the swimming pool. And I'm all for that, you know, I mean, why not? The only problem I had with Los Angeles, and if any of you had the misfortune of ever going there, and I highly recommend that you don't go there, everyone sort of is doing the post-glam, Guns N' Roses kind of poser, bikey routine, which I'm not too fond of. I mean, I like my bikers to have bikes, not brand new Harleys that they bought on their daddy's credit card. So since the scene out there was kind of weak, I felt kind of necessary, since I was out there to vacate and have fun and make a little money on top of that, I decided to call in my own reinforcements to sort of bring in my army, kind of like the clan, the family, you know. So suddenly I find myself surrounded by this clan of what I would term divine horsemen. I mean, you know, I used to be in a couple of bands, right? But now it seems like the bands are into me. I'm no longer in bands, but the bands are into me. As a matter of fact, I'm in the hot tub, and the band is inside me, inside the hot tub, and I'm surrounded by like two beautiful blonde-haired, long, kind of New York City style, hot, white tattooed cock rockers, and like two hot Italian, really macho stallions, long dark hair, black eyes. I'm in fucking heaven. We're in the hot tub, and we're doing the right thing. I mean, we're doing what comes naturally. You see, I always do the right thing. I know I'm doing the right thing. I always do the right thing because I always do exactly what the fuck I want to do, to whoever I want to do it to, wherever I want to do it, any time of the day, night, season. It don't matter what it means. I do it right. I do it good. I like to do it, and I admit that I like to do it, and that's where most people and I are different, because they try to pretend they don't do it, but they like to talk about me doing it. So instead, I'm going to talk about me doing it and tell you how it's actually done, and not only how it's done, but why it's done, because everything I do has a reason, a purpose, a motive, a motto, a mantra. So I'm kind of on the Love Boat cruise, you know, surrounded by the two blondes, the two brunettes, and I mean, okay, face it, I mean, I only want to hang down with the big, hard guys. I mean, the guys with cocks the size of my forearms, tattoos all over their arms, and they're there for one reason. They're there to drink in the wine of my youth. To just give some good head. Yeah, because if you can't give good head, you can't do anything, baby, so you better practice up tonight before you come to my hotel room, you know what I'm saying? So we're doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing. That means they're just drinking me in so that I can fall back, so I can free fall into some kind of timeless wonderland, back beyond the Vikings, beyond the cavemen, from the first original sin. That's where I want to go back to. That's what I'm going back to. We're kind of in a daisy chain for Satan. Yeah. But I got a job in all this. I got a meaning, I got a reason, I got a purpose, I got a goal, and that's one thing, and that's the same thing I was put here on this earth for, and that's to turn pressure into pleasure. Yeah. To turn my pressure into pleasure. To turn tension into pleasure. To release people from their life sentence, to release them from the oppressors, from the repressors. And I just want to wash over them like a sea of tranquility, like a sea of love, like an oasis in a sandstorm of shit, like an earthquake, like a tornado, like a monsoon. And night after night, 7 days and 7 nights, when they came to me, those baby boys, and then eventually even the baby girls, they came to me for one reason. They came to me to find that one special something that they couldn't get at home. Yeah, that one special thing that they couldn't get at home. Because I never want to go home. They didn't want to go home because they know that home is where the hard bitches are. Home is where the hard cocks are. Home is where they don't understand about the scarification rituals, about the bonds that tie like no others, the bonds that are tied with cum and blood. And they'd circle around me like a tribe, a clan, a family, like the kings of men, like the gods of men, like the kings of sex. And I'd be doing what I do best. I'd be coddling them. I'd be cuddling them. I'd be fondling them. I'd be sucking them. I'd be fucking them. Hey, I am proud. I'm not proud. I'm not jealous. I'm not hung up. I'm not inhibited. I'm just doing the right thing. I'm just offering them that sexual healing because that's what it's all about. Yeah, sexual healing. And they're rushing on me like some kind of fragrant dream powered by fiery tongues, the tongues of fire, my tongue, yeah. And I'm gonna get it while the getting's good. I'm gonna get it while it's good and hard. I'm gonna do it, because when I get back to fucking New York City and I'm sucking sewage again and I can't get fucked to save my life because I get fucked, it might cost me my life, and I'm not ready to die for my sex life yet. Although if it happens, I mean, what the fuck? In New York City, you see, the problem there is that all the pleasure palaces have been turned into torture chambers because it's a necropolis. And night after night, you're just rocked to sleep with the reek of stench and disease and pollution and desperation and loneliness and ugliness in the killing zone of false memory. And there's only one thing I hate worse than rumors, and that's false memory. So that's why I want to get it straight and tell you like it is, tell you how it is, and do it tonight. And we can all clear it up and get the fuck out. Yeah. This little performance piece that I'm doing is kind of based around the misfortunes of desire, of which I'm chronically plagued with. Yeah, the misfortunes of desire, acted out usually in an imaginary landscape, an imaginary location, where all around me illusions of shameless abundance degenerate into an unnecessary series of hostile events. And I'm kind of sick of hostile events. And that's why I founded the Conspiracy of Women. Founding mother of the Conspiracy of Women. COW, for short. By now you must know that I'm Lydia Lunch, and you know a few things about me, like my language is not silence. My song is the scream. Terror dwells in the shadow of my wings. My hope is my first battle and my last gasp. I am the knife with which the dead crack open the casket. I've kind of been developing a 13-step program involved with the Conspiracy of Women. Now, we realize that we don't have all the answers, but we know that we have every question. And the first question I'd like to begin this evening's seminar with is, why is it that the same assholes who invented torture and kidnapping and concentration camps and pollution and child abuse and nuclear bombs and atomic war now want to eliminate in the United States of America my right to a free and legal abortion? Yeah, I'll address this one to you. Who the hell are you? Who the hell do you think you are? Who the hell do you think you are? And how the hell dare you, because you're going to act just like them, try to tell me what I can or cannot do with my own mouth, my own mind, or my own body? Yeah, he can't tell me either, and he can't do it for me. He can't do it to me unless I want him to. Because there's one thing I know how to say, and I'm going to say it right to you. Don't get sassy, asshole. If you want to talk to me, come to my face. Because I'll quote them. I'll quote you. I'll use your own terms. That's right. I'll reduce it to your own terms so you can understand it. Just say no. Just say no. No, I'm not going to take it. So don't even sit back there and think I'm not going to take it lying down. I'm not going to take it standing up. And I'm not going to stand for it. Yeah, easy as that. I'm not going to stand or be forced into the life of my mother just because everyone else wants to act like the eternal father. The eternal fucker. If you want to go back in history and you want to get a little bit of an education here, we can go back to the first recorded episode of child abuse. No, I wasn't the first one. We can go back to the first recorded episode of child abuse, who was our hero, that idiot, Jesus. The man that was fucked up and fucked over and held up as some kind of religious icon who was meant to be worshipped because it was pounded into him from day one with every fucking nail that went into his fingers, his toes, his arms, his belly, his chest. The only way to heaven is through divine punishment. The only way to heaven is through divine punishment. And I say, fuck that. I am not familiar with the geography of heaven. And I refuse to be punished for the sins of my mother, of my father, of my brother, of my lover, of some asshole. I refuse. If there's any punishing to do around here, and if you think you need some punishing and you keep your mouth going and you're going to get some, you can come right up here and I'll gladly dish it out. No problems. No questions asked. No two ways about it. No problem. Yeah, I know, I heard it all before. Oh, Jesus died for somebody's sins, but not mine. Hey, not mine, baby, and not his either. Not his either, but for somebody else's. For somebody else's. And I refuse to be punished for the sins or the ignorance or the mistakes of somebody else. So don't get me going. Don't do that. Don't do that, because it only irritates me. It doesn't help me. It doesn't make me feel good. When you put your hands together, put them down here and think about me good, strong, and hard. Yes, yes, yes. And speaking about death, which this country was founded on, my father died 2 days ago of a cerebral brain stroke, which kind of worries me because I'm chronically plagued with migraines. And although he lived to be 57 and I don't expect to do the same, it was a little bit weird. Not that he died, but the fact that now that he's dead and cremated, my mother has enshrined his ashes on the Sears and Roebuck mantelpiece above the fake fireplace next to the chairs with the plastic covered on them. And they pray to him now every day and night. You know, she told me she had to confess to me. I had to call her on the phone from Hamburg, and she had to tell me, 34 years is a long time to be married to somebody. I said, yeah, to anybody. And old habits, well, they're just hard to break. I mean, bad habits are hard to break. And he had every fucking bad habit in the book. Because if it wasn't the Jack Daniels or the coffee or the cigarettes or the beer or the horse racing or the dog racing, it was the way he would pinch me and every other woman that ever had the misfortune of walking into the same room that he stood in. Because with him, just like with me, and just like with half of you, sex was a disease that only death could cure. But where I want to draw the line between me and him is that I want to make sure that all my excuses don't go on until my grave. That I don't keep blaming him now that he's dead for my problems. Now that he's gone, maybe so are my problems too. But I realize one thing too, for everyone here that hates their mother, their father, their brother, their sister, and everyone else, hey, the victimizer had to first be the victim. And that's how the series and the cycle of abuse gets carried on. So you don't have to procreate. You don't have to birth more children just because they're paying you to in this country. You don't have to carry on the cycle of abuse, and you don't have to wait for daddy to die to get over it. And that's why I'm up here, is to try to get over my problems and to try to take a few of you with me so that maybe we can all get over it, or we can all get over on it, or we can all get over, or we can all get out of here soon. I don't know, whatever you want. I can't tell. I don't know. I know that birth is a disease that only death will cure. I know that from our birth, we were all in on this together. No matter how different we are, we all share one of the same afflictions, and that's that we're all enslaved. That's that we're all enslaved. Enslaved in a vast warehouse of mentally ill people, locked up and bottled tight, detonating the palace of false hope, trapped in a tissue of lies and illogic, where every sound uttered, and be warned of this, where every sound uttered, where every sound uttered, where every sound uttered contains the longing for crime, the longing for crime, the longing for crimes against nature, crimes against reason. And I pray out, oh earth, planet of birth and death, please release me from this psychological lockjaw where, yes, youth, forget about it. It's just the mortgage time of a life gone past. It's just the mortgage time of a life gone past. And I know that we're all waiting on the liberation of relief. We're all waiting on relief from this human rat race, from this fucking rat race. We're all just waiting. Because we're all exiled from truth, because we've been force-fed so many goddamn lies that we started to not only believe the lies, but we started to propagate the lies. That we're exiled from truth like a million other pompous corpses gathered together in an empty existence, where multitudes of prisoners invade the city centers, just like here, just like now. Just like Warren and Sullen zombies. Just like Warren and Sullen zombies. Just like fucking zombies, because we all live in cemeteries. Because we're living in a living cemetery. Peopled with bloated caravans, full of the decrepit, the desperate, the lonely, the morally and spiritually, but never in this country or mine, financially bankrupt. And just like you too, I was born and I remain lonely, lonely, lonely. And the lonely wait for death behind the thin and fading walls. But remember, they finally released the last remaining prisoners of the Nazi invasion. Maybe they finally recognized that the enemy is only a figment of their overactive imaginations. Maybe they finally recognized the proper enemy. Remember, when you do recognize the enemy, always keep them in sight. Don't shoot till you see the whites of their eyes. Never shoot before you see the whites of their eyes. And you know what? I'm all with them because I love, I enjoy, I need to act like an acrobat in the dark, mutilating corpses. I don't give a shit how many more fucking useless Marines are turned into man-made meat patties and left to roast in holy hell. Hey, I'll quote your country on this one. I'll say, ladies and gentlemen, it's this way to the gas chambers because the theater of the white man's revolution is just about over. That's right. Yeah, remember, one death, like my own, would surely be a tragedy. But 1 million deaths is only a statistic. Yeah. So ladies, I'm going to address you on this front. I'm going to say that you all want to rise up. You all need to rise up. You all want to get ahead in business. You all want to gain more power. You all want to gain more control. So there's only one thing you can do. Annie, Betty, Susie, Manilow, Gudrun, Beata, get your fucking gun, ladies. Just get your gun. Just get your goddamn gun. Get it now, get it good, get it big, and get it hard, because there's a rumor going on. And I hate rumors. There's a rumor going on that the war has just begun. That the war has just begun. That the war is never over. That the war is never ending. That the war is just an orgy, and I love orgies. That the war is just an orgy of drunken hooligans who, in order to pump up that last fading trickle of their waning sexuality, have got to pick up bombs, have got to pick up bricks, have got to pick up bullets so that they can better penetrate the flesh of my enemy, the flesh of my flesh, the breath of my breath, the breast of my breast. Oh, yes. Oh, just like the song goes, just like that top 10 hit classic from the 70s. Oh, yes, embrace it. This is the end. Oh, you could sing along. This is the end, beautiful friend, the end. No laughter, no surprise. This is the end of the white man's revolution. This is the end of the hypocrisy of the Republic of Democracy. This is the end of communism, Marxism, Stalinism, fascism. Hey, humanism ended a long time ago. So in order to rise up, there's only one ground left to cover, and that's capitalism. So we're already there now. We're there here today. Be with me now, yeah. Because I'm sick of fucking groveling, you know? I'm sick of groveling on my fucking belly. I'm sick of groveling in this puny and pathetic landscape where I wander city to city, country to country, continent to continent, and every day when I wake up, I'm still plagued with the same question. Why? Why was I born an American? And not what would better suit me, if you're looking really good, a Palestinian, Pakistani, Syrian, Lebanese, Turkish, Filipino, Japanese, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Afro-Cuban American, or even better yet, my favorite of all, a Colombian, yeah. Why wasn't I born a Colombian? A Colombian with big balls, yeah, and maybe a quarter kilo of coke, yeah, because then I could better understand the need to pilfer, to pillage, to plunder, to rape like wild Indians, high up in those mountains, yeah. Immaculate camouflage, creases down the front, cap, bayonet, submachine gun on tripod, little square prayer rug that every hour on the hour I would get down, and I'd get down on my hands and knees and I would pray to the gods of war, yeah. I'd pray to the gods of war. I'd pray to the gods that gave me war, the gods that gave me something to do, somewhere to go on the weekend, something to live and die for, because that's all what we're missing here tonight, and that's why we're here tonight, is because we're looking for something to live and to die for. I just haven't found it yet, you know. Yeah. And man, because men love to play God, and like I told you the last time I was here, you know how I feel about God. I hate God. I hate God. I hate God because God was the first cop. God was the first cock. God was the first big-dicked, low-down, good-for-nothing motherfucker that subjected me to this life sentence in the first place, where I've been trying to escape for the last 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years of my rotten, stinking life. But I know there is no escape. But that doesn't stop man. That doesn't stop man from playing God. That doesn't stop man from playing God. And God, he had all the fun because God, he could penalize. He could punish. He could destroy. He could mutilate. He could eliminate, annihilate. He could destroy the world. And man, just like the dinosaur with which he has so much in common, will also become extinct. Because all of man's useless, stupid, warmongering, greedy, bloodlusty, corrupt ideas are also now extinct. Oh, I pity the fools. I pity those poor, reckless fanatics lost in that time without limits, that limbo, that world without end. But night after night, I'm still praying. I'm still praying for them. Night after night, I'm still on my hands and knees, and I'm still praying. And when I'm down there, I pray and pray and pray for one thing. Boys. Boys. I pray for boys that don't know any better, that don't know any different. I pray for boys that don't know any better than getting those 18 bullet holes blown in their bellies when they travel in those squads of 15 to 20-year-olds whose sole job, whose only job that I can respect is to execute the executioners, is to kill the killers, is to eliminate the judges, the juries, the cops, the chiefs, the kings. Hey, baby, the king is dead, long live the queen. The king is dead, long live the queen. And night after night when I'm down there, and night after night I'm just praying for a new sinister nuisance which becomes my national obsession. Night after night I'm praying for another night of death on Blood Boulevard. Oh, yes. I want to take them all with me. I want to embrace them all in the fold, in the family, in the clan, in the tribe, my men. I want to say, oh, Manuel, oh, Ronnie, oh, Ollie, oh, George, oh, Margaret, you can come too. Come with me, baby. Come with me and be here with me now. I want to take you on a small trip. A little mini vacation, a permanent vacation. Why don't you come with me right now? We could go there. It's easy. You just hop on that helicopter and you get down there and you go to Bogota. You go to Bolivia. You go to Nicaragua. You go to Sandinista. You go to San Salvador, Beirut, Beijing, Brooklyn, Brighton, Belfast. You go where they know that the price they put on human life is death. The price they put on human life is death. And all the wailing in the world that I'm going to do ain't going to save your ass, it ain't going to save my ass, and it ain't going to shut me up either. That's right. I recognize, and I'm ready every minute. I know that the cost of living is hand-to-hand combat, fought tooth and nail. Hey, it's a mantra. Repeat after me. Life is cheap, but death is free. Life is cheap, but death is freedom. Oh, baptismal in blood, baptismal in blood, baptismal in blood. Oh, death wears the proof of a crown from the kings. I am free. I recognized a long time ago that the horizon has finally disappeared. It's been replaced with leper colonies. The illusion of freedom is finally gone. That's right. Slavery is freedom. Embrace it. Slavery is freedom. Slavery is freedom. War is peace. War is peace. But peace, it's just not profitable. So ladies, I'm going to appeal to you one more time because I know you want to rise up in business. I know you want to get your thing. I know you want to readdress the imbalance of power. So ladies, get your goddamn gun. Just get your fucking gun. Get your Uzi, get your AK, get your 9mm, get your small pistol, your handgun, your 45, your 33. Just get your goddamn gun because there's a rumor going on, you see, that the war has just begun. That the war is never over, that the war is never ending, and you must know that better than me, that the war is just an orgy of drunken hooligans who in order to pump up that last fading trickle of their waning sexuality, they gotta pick up those bombs, they gotta pick up those bricks, they gotta pick up those bullets so that they can better penetrate the flesh of my flesh, the breast of my breast, the breath of my breath. I mean, if you want to get down to brass tacks and you want to know all about it and you just want to understand it, then you'll know the death of another living being, it just doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, it just doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, it just doesn't mean anything to men because men are the ones in war. The death of another living being doesn't mean anything to men because men are so fucking afraid to die that they have to kill everything in sight. Yeah, men are so afraid to die that they have to kill everything in sight. Because if you can't beat them, kill them. If you can't kill them, fuck them. If you can't fuck them, kill them. If you can't do it good, do it hard. Yeah, I love myself too. Part of the philosophy and the conspiracy of women in our 13-step program, which we're just touching on lightly tonight, because when I'm doing the real seminar, it will be women only, and then I'll do the one for men only, you know, the sexual healing bullshit. Part of the philosophy, without dogma, because in the conspiracy of women, there is no higher force other than yourself. There is no greater enigma to give up to. Part of the philosophy is if men bled every month as much as I bleed every month, some of their bloodlust would be eliminated. You know? They might know what real war was all about. I'm not talking about the monthly cramping, the insatiability, the hunger, the bloating, or the blood. That's the good part. I love the mood swings. It's the only time I'm really, truly emotional. That's not the problem. I think that if men wanted to know what real hell was, they would also get dosed with, and if this sounds like a list of my children's name in Greek, it could almost be real, chlamydia, condyloma, vaginosis, vaginitis, trichinosis, endometriosis, dysplasia, tubal ligation, genital warts, herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, or my favorite, which I know personally I've infected half of you with here tonight, non-specific urinary tract infection. Very ugly. Now, I'm not going to take on some kind of attitude or trip and say, well, you know, you could easily prevent it. Just go to the washroom, pay $1, put a condom on, strangle his dick. It'll get soft in no time. Don't worry about it. I don't think the problem lies in social or sexual responsibility or prevention. To me, what bugs me is that they don't want to cure any sexually or socially transmitted diseases. They don't want to cure it because then, ladies, every time you go to the gynecologist, he puts a rubber glove on, he sticks it in your crotch, he twiddles it around, he smells it, and he charges you $75 for not even getting you off. Not to mention $200 for the antibiotics. They don't want to cure you. They'd lose their business. They don't want to cure you. They want you to infect others. Because if you left it up to them, the tax they put on breathing would be called cancer. And they want you to have cancer, I can assure you of that. They want you to especially have feminine cancer so that they can keep you down, pound you down, put you in pain, make you weak, make you sick, make you feel guilty and like shit, and to wish you were dead. They've made sure now, though, if it's not only sex that gives you cancer, that everything gives you cancer, that breathing gives you cancer, that eating gives you cancer, that meat gives you cancer, water, vegetables, TV screens, video monitors, computer games, computers, satellite discs, which they import contagions from outer space to infect you with diseases that don't even have any names yet. They want you to have cancer. They want you to be sick. They want you to be weak, they want you to be desperate, and they want you to be fucked up and guilty because they want to control you. It's very easy. And now that they've ultimately controlled you by instilling you with fear of a sexual disease, because we know that if it isn't the disease that's going to fuck you up and kill you, it's the fear of the disease. Because they want you to be afraid. They want you to be very afraid. They want you to be terrified. They want you to be so fucking terrified that you become neurotic. And once you're neurotic, you get anxiety attacks. And once you have anxiety attacks, then you turn to alcohol addiction and drug dependency. And once you're an alcoholic or a drug addict, you have to go to Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous or Sex and Loving Addiction Anonymous or Sexaholics or Women Who Love Too Much or my personal foundation, Women Who Hate Too Much. Now, when all those programs have failed you, you will of course eventually end up in the hospital. And when you get to the hospital, they're just going to stand there in their white pristine uniforms and their little flat shoes and their baggy stockings and their little hat, and they're just going to give you big attitude and look at you like you stink. Like, I knew you would get something. What did you think acting like that? That you wouldn't get something? That you were immune to this? You thought you wouldn't get it. Did you know that every single person you have slept with, you have also slept with everyone that they've slept with? I wish I had slept with everyone they slept with, then maybe I would be happy here tonight. Maybe I wouldn't have an attitude problem. I didn't expect that I would go to the hospital in order to just be treated like some kind of leper, like some kind of human guinea pig, like some kind of lab rat, like some kind of monkey drunk on poisoned blood who can no longer control his drooling, who can no longer control his motor functions, who has no control over his mind, his body, his soul, his blood. They don't want you to have control. They want to control you, and that's why they use fear. It's very simple. They use it for everything. They use it as the ultimate control. So ladies, next time you're lonely, or desperate, or horny, or hungry, or hurting, or wanting, or desperate. You know this hole you got inside here, which like starts here and goes like all the way up to here, and it feels like it could never be filled, that endless void that I love to embrace. That's my advice. Embrace the void. Fill up the void, not with sewage, not with garbage, not with food, not with drugs, not with useless sex from useless men, but with yourself. With your own power, with your own heat, with your own energy, with your own light, with your own love. Oh yes, sisters are doing it for themselves. And boy, once you learn how to do that, you won't need anything useless anymore. You'll be able to just eliminate that shit, go on, grow up, get full, and not of shit. Thank you, sister. Okay, guys, I'm off your dick now. I'm not gonna like pound your cock any further down than it already is, halfway up your crack. Don't worry, this one's for you. You know, my problems that I have with men, it's not personal because I don't have personal problems with men. They're all social problems and they're all based in the abuse of power from the higher echelons of the social strata. It's not on a one-to-one basis because I don't deal with dickheads mostly. I know how to root them out. But that's now. And now I want to give a little history about maybe how I learned to get to where I am today, standing in front of a few hundred people. I don't know, don't ask me. You know, I'm mature now. I'm an adult. I'm not a little teeny bop cycle slut anymore. I'm understanding. I'm loving. I'm forgiving. I'm even sometimes forgetful. And to some of you guys out here who have been personally involved with me in the past, this is a little story for you. Some of the worst men I ever knew, some of the best fucks I ever had. I'd like to say, oh, Johnny. Johnny, come back, baby. Come back, Johnny. Oh, Johnny, come back, baby. I want to tell you everything I learned in the last 10 years. I want to try to teach you some of the things that I taught myself. I want to help you to understand me like I now understand you. I want to help you to understand me because I'm a very understanding, loving, adult, mature, wonderful, forgiving, forgetting woman. Oh, yes, baby, I am. I'm different now, you see. I mean, remember that time? I mean, if you want to go back a little ways, remember that time that you took my cat and you, like, skydived it out the 5th floor story of that tenement on the Lower East Side and it went splat like a hamburger on the sidewalk? Forget about it, baby. Don't worry about it. I forgot about it. I forgive you. You know, when you took my 2 pet rabbits and you skinned them and you ate them and cooked them up for Thanksgiving dinner and you served it to my band and you gave the skins to the drummer who a year later told me they were my little furry pets. Don't worry about it, baby. I know that rabbit tastes good even when it is my little favorite bunny. Don't worry. Don't worry. Remember that time, baby, that you took my 32 exotic lizards that I'd paid $932 for and you let them all out of the cage and in your neo-Nazi get-up with the nightstick and the sunglasses, you goose-stepped all over them, accidentally, of course. Don't worry about it. I forgive you, baby. I forgive you. Remember that time that you took my 7-foot-long, 82-pound Burmese python that was imported from Asia somewhere and you wrapped it around your holster and you hitchhiked down to Florida and you started holding up those saving and loans banks? Nickel and diamond, just chump change. You know, you gotta get that little taste, baby. Nothing too much, nothing too much. Hey, can I come back? Can I come up? Just for the weekend. I mean, the CIA, the FBI, the sheriff, and the police department's after me. Don't worry about it, baby. Come back, come quick, come now. Just get here, baby. Just get here just for the weekend. Don't worry about it. You can hide out. You can hole up. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. remember all those fist fights we used to get into in the pool halls where those like really stupid looking suburban pervs in the business suits with the curly hair and the glasses and the ties and the briefcase you try to pimp your anybody's ass off to just a little bit, just for $50, $75 just to do it. You know, the kind that used to like their balls having hot wax poured all over it while they'd be jerking off screaming out, "Hail, Holy Mary, hail, Holy Mary, hail, 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 hail." Oh, yeah, don't worry about it, baby. Don't worry about it. I forgot about that a long time ago. I almost forgot. I mean, I forgive you, but I can't really forget about that 62-year-old black man, Willie, that we picked up while hitchhiking on the corner of Houston and 2nd Avenue, New York City, 1981, where we got in and all he wanted to do was take us to a Motel 6 and you sat smoking Marlboros and drinking Budweiser, watching cartoons, laughing while I'm humping, pumping, fucking sucking my brains off, and that man couldn't come no matter what I did. 2 hours later and we're doubling the price. Hey, the art trip just wasn't paying in those days, baby. You know what I'm saying? We had to eat. We had to pay the rent. I mean, you couldn't get a job. You busted your kneecap on the construction site. 2 tons of solid steel. I understand. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that time you smashed my face into a fucking plate glass window Christmas morning 1981. It didn't matter. I got the scars to prove it, but they're pretty scars. They're beautiful. They're everlasting, just like our love. Yeah. Don't worry about the time you ran over those 2 14-year-old surfer girls on the Malibu freeway in your 68 fucking Ford pickup. Ended up 9 weeks in intensive care, longest victim in LA County. Don't worry about it. You lived to talk about it. So did I. They're dead and buried. They didn't have a chance to get fucked up or screwed over. Don't worry about it. Don't even think about it. You know, I forgot all about the black eyes, the busted lip, the broken collarbone, the misplaced hip, the busted kneecap. I forgot all about it, baby. The trips to the hospital, the morgue, that time you stuck that small pearl-handled switchblade right inside my belly trying to implicate me in any kind of involvement with any man, woman, child, animal that I wasn't paid to fuck. As long as I was getting paid and you were getting 10% of the profits, you didn't really care. You didn't really give a shit. As a matter of fact, you fucking got off on it, you stupid fuck. You loved it. Yeah. You love me, baby, and I loved you. That's right. I can forget about it. Oh, I can forgive you, baby. I can forgive you for all the hurt. Hey, I dug it too. You know, I mean, the only way you can learn is through pain, right? I mean, I forgot about it. I forgive you, baby. Forget the horror. Forget about the horror. Hey, baby, one word of wisdom. May the force be with you. Yes. May the force be with you, baby. May the force be with you. May you too one day learn. May you too one day learn that you don't always have to prove how fucking hard it is to be a man. Hey, I understand. I know how hard it is to be a man. I know that it's hard to be a man. I know that you gotta be a hard man. I know that you gotta be hard, baby. You gotta be hard. You gotta be a hard man, you know? Because men, they just get blamed for everything, you know? And that's because they fuck everything up. Every time, every last time, I forgive you, baby. I can't forget about it, but I can forgive you. And that's because now we're up to step 13. Yeah. Now we're up to step 13. Yeah. Step 13 is when you take the lust out of your head and out of your heart and put it back into your fucking crotch where it belongs. Because there's one thing, step 13, and one thing only that can put my blindfolds on, and that's lust. Yeah. Lust. Yeah. Lust alone, baby. Lust alone. Those fingers, oh, when they reach out and they dispense and caress, offering oblivion, ecstasy, numbness. When that tongue of fire, baby, worships and helps me to escape into a nocturnal caress. Explosions, baby. Expulsion. Escape, 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 tripping off into those distant daydreams. Yeah, suffocating. Hyperventilating. Yeah. Smooth, baby, is the touch. Oh, unforgettable. The taste. Yeah. The way you make those ripples shoot through. The way you pet, pierce, penetrate. But experts only need apply. That's right. Experts only in the art of seduction. The ones that know how to stimulate those unsane endorphins, those polluted desires. Oh, I embrace it. Vessel of evil, doomed between my legs. Say it like a mantra. Rebellion from false virtue. Rebellion from false virtue. Rebellion from false virtue. But never, please, no, not nudity. Anything but nudity. Anything but nudity, because nudity is death. Nudity is death, and even the most tender kisses leave the aftertaste of the rat, trapped, standing in front of a door that leads to an unknown room. Every entrance is an exit. Oh, embrace me now. Every entrance is an exit. There's no time left for caution. Don't even think about it. There's no time left for caution. So tonight, when you're in your bed and you're thinking about me and my problems and my obsessions and my addictions, and you got your hand where it counts, and you're staring out the window at the rooftops and you see something moving in the distance, just remember, it's not always a man, you know. It's not always a man. It's not always a man, that fucking sniper on the rooftop. Bloodshot grin, frozen grin, hand, arm extended, gun cocked, ready to explode. No, baby, it's not always a man that's singing those songs of piracy and grief, that's bloodthirsty, that's lusty, that's wanny, that's needy. It's not always a man with those faint whispers crushed like distant foam on ghostly lips. But one thing I learned from men, this is the lesson: the flesh is just the fool. The flesh is just the fool, so treat it as such. The flesh is just the fool of indifferent graves. Yeah. Whoever creates, and I know I'm not alone on this one, whoever creates demands destruction. Whoever creates demands destruction, because it's not until the flesh rots, that the soul can have any time off. And that desired state of nothing can happen. Nothing can happen to a skeleton. Except the wind blowing through the bones on the other side of sin. Good night.